Hey everybody, welcome into the Friday Five, and this week we're at the Nacarado Distribution Center for Second Harvest Food Bank in Smyrna, and my good friend Taylor Loyal is here. And Taylor, Second Harvest Food Bank is under a lot of pressure all the time.
Yes, sir.
To help families in how many counties?
So we serve 46 counties.
Wow, that's almost half the state.
Yeah, it is actually about half the state. We serve all of Middle Tennessee and then a little bit of West Tennessee as well.
Yep. So the events of March the 2nd with the tornado that stretched along the I-40 corridor, it has really added even more pressure because you all have enough to do anyway. And then when you are helping out those who have really been affected by a major storm, it really ramps it up.
For sure. Yeah, so every day here, we have 3 distribution centers. We have our facility in Nashville, we have this one here in Smyrna, and then we have one out in Benton County. And every day we're picking up food from grocery stores, from farmers, from food manufacturers, wholesalers, places like that, bringing that food here. Volunteers will sort it, and then we get it out to people in need, actually to partner agencies that
Right.
we work with who get it to people in need. And so we're doing that day in, day out, always. But after last week with the tornadoes, we really kind of went into overdrive. But one of the things that I like to talk to people about, and I've talked to people a lot about in the last week, is that, you know, it's admirable, and you know, it's a good thing to want to have that impulse to just sort of rush in and go help. But what we do here is very strategic in how we help. So when the tornado hit, our CEO is up at 3 o'clock that morning already talking to shelters and talking to schools and talking to everybody that we knew would need our help. And so, you know, in the last week we've worked a lot with the Red Cross, worked a lot with the school systems. We've actually, in this facility right here, packed emergency food boxes for the Red Cross. I went out Saturday to Putnam County, which was hit very hard. We had a food distribution out there. So we're very strategic in how we help and what our role is, and so it's really been pretty cool actually to see us take the work that we do every day and then apply it to a situation like that.
Yeah, and as you can tell, the action here continues on. We got a forklift moving food pallets around. The message we want to get out today is we're coming up on 2 weeks since the tornado had hit, and you know, Hands on Nashville released some information that over 26,000 individuals had registered to be volunteers.
So amazing.
And had volunteered over 40,000 times. So most people were doing a couple of different things. So with Second Harvest Food Bank, the question here is, how can people get involved? What are your needs to help other people? And as we were talking before we started today, it's the 3 F's. That's what you're looking for right now.
Well, first of all, I saw a thing probably on Facebook or somewhere that said, you know, if you just moved to Nashville, you're about to find out why we're called the volunteer state. And it's just been so amazing from people, you know, little kids who've done lemonade stands to raise money to help to bigger efforts and everything in between. It's, you know, I love living here. I know you do too. We talk about it all the time. It's such a great community. But yes, you know, when people ask how they can help any day of the week, even prior to this, I always say we need food, funds, and friends.
Yep.
So the food, you know, if you want to do a food drive in your office or something like that, that's great. If you want to come volunteer, those are what I would call our friends.
Yep.
I think last year we had almost 90,000 volunteer hours. You know, right out here you can come sort all the food that's donated to us. And then we need funds. Every dollar that's donated to Second Harvest will provide 4 meals to someone in need. 96 cents of every dollar that's donated to Second Harvest goes directly to feeding hungry people. So we feel like we're pretty good at that, at managing the money that's donated to us. But it's really now more than ever.
Right.
With all 3 of those.
And you guys have such a good network of food suppliers that right now when you get right down to the low gravy, so to speak, here we are in a food bank talking about gravy, but the low gravy, it's funds are a huge thing right now because that's where you're really stretched the thinnest at this point.
It is. I don't know if I'm allowed to say specific numbers, but we burned through a lot of money Tuesday and Wednesday that we weren't planning on spending.
Right.
You know, because it was like we got to gear up and go respond to this immediately. And you know, so sometimes when people donate, they donate to our general fund. You know, and a lot of times you'll get companies or individuals that go, you know, I want to earmark that money for this specific thing. Well, my eyes were really open last week to why it's so important to just give to the general fund, because that was the money that was used to respond to the tornado.
Yeah.
And you know, our relief efforts with that.
Yep. Now, folks who would like to, who have more time than maybe funds and would like to be a volunteer here at your distribution center in Smyrna, if whether they're an individual or let's say it's a church group or a basketball team or whatever it might be, civic group, how do they go about getting involved here?
So it is very easy. You just go to secondharvestmidtn.org. If that's too hard to remember, you could just Google Second Harvest Food Bank Middle Tennessee. It will pop right up. If you go on the website, there's a tab on there that says Act. You just click on Act, sign up, and once you've created an account on there, it'll show you every volunteer shift that we have and how many spots are still available for those volunteer shifts. So here we do Tuesday mornings, Wednesday afternoons, Friday or Saturday mornings. So at least three times a week we have volunteer shifts here, sometimes 4 times a week. Tonight, which is Wednesday, we actually have an evening shift. And then we've added some more shifts, as I said, to sort of respond to our relief efforts. So you can just get on the website and it'll literally show you, I think, all the way through the summer.
Good. Yeah. So as we kind of have about a minute or so here, any thoughts that have come to mind over the last 2 weeks, success stories, that kind of thing that just is going to stick with you for a long time?
I'll tell you the one that'll stick with me forever. So Saturday, Sean Kaplan and I, he's a good friend of mine, a very big supporter of Second Harvest, and we were talking Friday morning, and I said, hey, I'm going to go Saturday to Putnam County and just visit with folks there. We had a mobile pantry there, and I said, I just want to go meet some of the people there. Sean and I were talking, and he's like, hey, I want to go with you. So we drove up Saturday, and we met a young man who had been in the tornado. And you know, he was in a trailer, his whole trailer was shaking, the roof was ripped off, the windows blown out. You know, really, really scary thing. And here this guy had basically just lost everything he had, and he had a big smile on his face while he was talking to us.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing was, he wasn't there to get food, he was there to help people.
Wow.
And so I think a lot of us, sometimes we take things for granted what we have, and here we met a young guy that had basically just lost everything, and he was thinking about how can I help my neighbors.
Yeah. Well, Second Harvest helps a lot of neighbors every day, and during this time in Middle Tennessee, they have gone above and beyond. And as Taylor said, they're very efficient with their resources, whether it be monetary or the food resources they have here, and they're certainly worthy of your support, as you mentioned, the 3 F's. So go to their website, check it out, and get your group together. Come here, helps put yourself down for a volunteer shift, or if you have available funds that can help them through this tough time, to help them be a little more efficient and even a little more helpful than they normally are, I'm sure that would certainly be appreciated.
Absolutely.
Taylor, appreciate the time today.
Thank you.
You guys do great work here. I'm really proud of what you do and how this place has grown and the way that you're able to help folks throughout Middle Tennessee all the time.
Thank you, sir.
All right. That'll do it for today's Friday 5. Be sure to join us next week. You can go to my website at choosechip.net, or, of course, the Second Harvest Food Bank. Just Google Second Harvest Food Bank. It'll take you right there, and you can be a part of the big effort that's going on here in Middle Tennessee. So everybody have a great weekend.